There's a putting stroke technique that virtually all of the best putters on the tour use, and most amateurs have never even tried. It's not some gadget or a special grip or a practice aid or even a specific brand of putter. It's how they move the putter. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what that is, how it's so radically different from the way the amateurs move the putter, and how you can use it starting today to hole more putts, boost your confidence, and have a tour quality stroke. I'm convinced that the primary reason that most amateurs struggle so much with their putting is that they try to use their arms to make the stroke. They get over the ball, and instead of using their body, which is what the pros do, and I'm going to show you that exactly in a moment, but the amateurs get over the ball and they're swinging their arms to make the putt. And while that feels really good and you can make some putts that way, it's difficult to be consistent. Let me show you why that is. Somewhere along the line, somebody probably told you, oh, you want to take the putter straight back and straight through up the line like a pendulum. And the thing is, that's great, but if I'm going to move this putter straight back and straight through, something has to happen. Because the way my body works, my shoulders are three-quarter rotating joints. And so what happens is I try to take the putter straight back up the line. And notice, this arm is bent and this one has to straighten or lengthen. Now the angles of my putter face are inconsistent. That's the reason that so many amateurs top the ball sometimes and hit the ground before the ball other times. That inconsistency, because if I'm focused on going straight back and straight through using my arms, well, I start with my arms bent a little bit and then I'm lengthening one arm and changing the angles. It's hard to be consistent with your ball striking, which influences your speed and distance control and causes you to hit putts offline, which amateurs do all the time and pros very rarely ever do. All right, let's look at down the line, trying to use my arms to power the stroke and take the putter face straight back and straight through. So to get there, I have to lengthen my arms, and the putter face is now at an angle. It's angled. I'm pointed out to the right. The putter face is open, which means as I come back through the ball, I've got to shorten my arms again to get the putter face squared to the target line. And that lengthening and then shortening my arms is what causes people to hit on top of the ball or drag the ground before it or have issues with the face opening, or they shorten the one arm too much and the face closes. Big problems. Second thing is, somebody along the way told you, oh, you need to make an arcing stroke because you can't make a perfect pendulum straight back and straight through. And so, using your arms to putt, you're trying to arc it. And you're trying to rotate and twist your forearms, and you end up twisting your wrist, trying to make a perfect arcing stroke. And the tour pros do not ever think about arcs or pendulums in their stroke. And they don't use their arms to power the stroke. They use their bodies, which is what you ought to do and what I advocate. I'm going to turn this way so that you can see it in the camera. But you should set up your stroke with your arms out, this area where the vein is and what I call your elbow pit, pointing straight to the sky. Now, you can rotate your hands while keeping your elbow pits pointed straight up. Take your grip on the putter. So elbows straight up, I've got my hands on the putter. Now I'm going to tuck it in to where it's connected. My elbows are connected, my arms, my bicep connected to my rib cage. Not way back here on the seam of your shirt, not way out here on your belly button. There's one player on the PGA Tour who does it that way with his arms that way. Of course, he changes his style and technique often, and I'm not criticizing that. He's great, but the best putters on the tour don't do it like this. They have connection here with their bicep and the turn of their elbow on their rib cage. And then once they're in that position, they don't power the stroke of the putt with their arms, changing that position and losing this connection. That's what amateurs do, and it causes stroke problems and inconsistencies. Professionals then keep that, they tilt till the putter is soled over the ball, they're in their setup position, and then they make the stroke simply by rocking their shoulders. And what I want you to notice is it looks like in here from my shoulders into the middle of my chest down to my putter shaft, if you can imagine from a baseball home plate. And I don't want that home plate shape to change during my putter stroke. The shape stays the same, certainly home plate moves, but I'm making a stroke, powering it by rocking my shoulders, a little bit of side bend on a really long putt in here and in here, but I want you to notice the difference. This is your normal amateur. They're set up in a great position, and then their arms are moving the stroke. And you see this gap come in here? That's not good. That's a problem. The professionals, their arms are not moving. Their arms are staying connected and attached to their body, and their shoulders are moving. And it looks like this. Much better, much more consistent stroke, a much easier stroke to use to control line and speed and distance. You keep the putter face square. Now, when you're making that stroke, on a really short putt, it might be straight back and straight through, but you're not thinking about that. Your body does it naturally. On a longer putt, there's going to be some arc because of the way that your human body works, but you're not thinking about that and trying to make micro adjustments to control that arc or perfect that arc. All you're doing is thinking, all right, I'm going to rock my shoulders and then take the putt straight back up the line. Now, if I'm powering the stroke with my body and with my core, not worried about straight back or straight through or any of that, simply rocking the shoulders, notice what happens. I get back to here, I can go as big a stroke as I want. The putter face is not nearly so open, and it comes back exactly to the ball without thinking about it, without trying to do any hand manipulation. When you first start doing this, it's going to feel awkward and different because you've never done it that way before. You're going to find it a little hard to control the speed, but with a little practice, you'll get that down. You're also going to find that when most people, when they first start doing this, there's some moving to the hips. Learn, like Jack Nicklaus said, to feel like you're standing in concrete up to your knees. I try to feel like I'm standing in concrete up to here. But you learn to power the stroke without moving your lower body, without moving your arms, and it's simply your shoulders rocking. Again, that's something new, something fresh. Go out on the practice green, give it a try, get used to it, make that change. Take your arms out and get into the position where your connection here at setup stays all the way through the stroke. You'll find with a little bit of practice, you've learned this new skill. You're making a putt, moving the putter the way that the pros move it. It'll be much more consistent in terms of your ball contact, your start line, and your speed and distance. And that'll help you make a lot more putts, which is what it's all about. If you like this idea, you got some value out of that, then you know the drill to do for that. Like, subscribe, comment, share. Check out this video on the screen now. Check out the information on my online courses and other things in the video description. And until next time, here's to you making more putts.